I have always felt like a theologically confused, didn't really have a space or a tribe, if you will. I was talking to my wife this morning and I just said, this is my tribe. I look forward to this every single year. It feels like a family reunion. I want to honor Gabe and Rebecca. I'm so thankful for their ministry and the resources that they're creating. I want to honor Grant and Cheyenne and Chi-Chi and the whole crew just for creating a space for us to have honest conversations. And so I was raised in a small town. When I was 9 years old, I had a friend stay the night, okay? I don't know if you remember being 9 and having someone stay the night, but we were supposed to be in bed. My parents were sleeping. The house was full of peace, and we were just trying to stay quiet enough so as not to get caught, being still awake. And it became closer to time to go to bed, and he said, hey, my friend Cody John is his name, two first names. He says, hey, do you have an extra blanket? So I go in this closet where we keep some games. It's just kind of the junk closet in the guest bedroom. There's games and old clothes and jackets that don't fit. And so I open the closet door, and about halfway down the closet, there's something suspended about eye level with me that looks as though it doesn't belong. And I'm just kind of frozen looking. I'm like, what is that? My brain is trying to catch up, trying to understand what I'm looking at. And then it moved, and I realized it was a giant snake in the house. And I don't know what took over, but I just jumped. I mean, it was I did the longest backwards long jump in the history of the world, set a world record. I just jumped backwards all the way across the room into the wall on the other side. And I just go, snake, there's a snake. And Cody's like, what is it? And I'm like, it's a snake. And my dad gets up, and he comes, he's like, what's going on? We're in trouble now. Y'all are, why are you still awake? I'm like, Dad, there's a snake. And he's like, where? And I go, right there, but it's not there anymore because it slithered off. And now we don't know where it is. And he's like, you're supposed to be in bed. I'm like, who can sleep at a time like this? There's a snake in our house, in this room that we're supposed to sleep in. And this place that was filled with peace is now completely disrupted with fear and chaos and confusion and questions. And that's really what the past 24 months have been like for me as I explore the spiritual realm, because I was raised Catholic school for 9 years, Baptist youth group, Lutheran Sunday school. I became a Christian as a young adult at a non-denominational church, largely cessationist in theology, if you will. That just means we didn't really talk much about the spiritual realm. And then my mind, I think I am an expert on God. I teach the Bible for a living. And then I realized there's this whole other world out there that I've never really explored that has implications for every single thing we do and everything we think and anything we're entertained by. This is what C.S. Lewis says. There are two equal and opposite errors into which our race can fall about the devils. One is to disbelieve in their existence. The other is to believe and to feel an excessive and unhealthy interest in them. But I want you to know, I think there's a third error, and that's to believe the devils exist, but to allow that to have zero implication for what you think, do, and say. And so I want to talk about this reality that your story, personalize that, your story, I am talking to you. You're like, it feels like he's talking to me. I'm talking to you. Your story has a villain. I want to talk about who he is, where he is, and what he's capable of. Sun Tzu says this in The Art of War: if you do not know the enemy, there is loss in every battle. And so who is the villain in your life? My first idea I'd put in front of you is that Satan is a fallen angel. I could say that Satan is just a fallen angel. He's a demon. If you paid attention to that C.S. Lewis quote, he said, the devils We always think of Satan being one, but in reality, Revelation 12 says that 1/3 of the angelic realm fell with him. Satan was a created being, created by God to worship God, to help God. That's what angels do. He didn't want to worship God. He wanted to be worshiped like God, and so God sent him here. Satan is a fallen angel, like the other demons here. We get most of this narrative from Ezekiel 28 and Isaiah 14. And as you read the prophetic literature, it can be confusing because it's talking about a real king in time and space. And that's often how the prophets could speak about the supernatural realm. So as Ezekiel talks about the king of Tyre, he's actually giving us the satanic narrative.